gets in there fresh, makes a really big impact. I know you skated with those guys over time, just in rehabs, things like that. What can you say about the work those guys put in just to be ready, even though they know their number might not be called at all?
Yeah, it's something we talked about when we were out working together. Is prepare as if we're playing, hit each other as hard as we possibly can. Get those lumps before you have to go out and do it on the ice. So you saw how they were able to make an impact last night, and we love that.
Evan, you're still down in the series, obviously, but just how much does everything feel different this morning? How coming off a night like that?
Yeah, it's obviously huge to get that win, but our mentality doesn't really change in how we approach each game. It's our style of play doesn't change, and what we have to do to be successful doesn't change. So we'll take it on a game-by-game basis, just like we have been, and we'll start preparing for Game 4 right now.
And Aaron, one for you. Do you feel like you're completely back in the flow now? I mean, it's obviously been stop and start for you. Do you feel like you're back to normal?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Game 3, what was my Game 1 against Tampa, was a tough one, and it was hard to find timing and stuff like that. But since then, I've felt great, and it's been a tough challenge every single game, but a welcome one, and I've felt that I'm back in the groove of playing playoff hockey.
Evan, you touched on doing what you guys have to do to be successful. What do you think you guys were able to do in Game 3 that maybe you weren't able to do in Games 1 and 2, and how do you build on that going into tomorrow?
I think just getting some sustained ozone time and keeping things simple. I think that was the biggest thing. Just not trying to make fancy plays and break the game open. We just stuck to our game, stuck to being hard on it and physical, and kind of let the game take care of itself.
Aaron, obviously Matthews is getting chances. He's been held off the scoreboard, at least in terms of goals this series so far. What if anything, do you think you guys are doing well to kind of contain him?
With any player like that, the Matthews and McDavids of the world, you're trying your best. At the end of the day, they're going to get their chances, and what they create around the net, not necessarily with goals all the time, is chaos, right? They throw everything at the net. He's in the corner, he's slinging it to the net. So he's always creating, whether or not he's on the scoreboard. So we see that, and it's a tough job for sure.
Evan, that was such a strange call in Game 2. Just what went through your mind when you found out that you were getting called for embellishment on that?
Yeah, I didn't find out till after the game, to be honest. I didn't have a clue. I just I figured there was coincidental roughings or what it was. So I couldn't believe it. My brother texted me, and I was shocked. But the game was kind of over at that point, and you move on and get ready for Game 3.
Evan, you touched on it in terms of a big picture, but Paul said the second period last night was kind of the first time you guys looked like you should look. What can you draw on from that second period? Obviously, it's tough to replicate that every period, but what did you learn about your team that period that maybe can help you going forward?
Yeah, I liked our fight. I liked, we go down on two different occasions, and we didn't give up. We, again, stuck to our game. We got pucks deep, and we got on it. I think we didn't have as much pressure on their D and on our forecheck in the first two games as we would have liked, and I thought we just got back to that in the second period.
Aaron, you've played a lot of playoff hockey the last few years. How much do you buy into momentum in a series versus each game kind of being its own entity?
Yeah, momentum swings all the time, and it's something as simple as moving through the neutral zone and not making an extra play. Controlling that flow of the game is something we focus on as a team, and it's extremely important. And then also game to game, when you win a game, you think you're the best team in the world, and when you lose a game, you're kind of feeling really down. So it's something we try to avoid, and that kind of experience and veteran leadership in our room is what takes care of those swings.
Heck, on that, obviously we talked about what the home crowd would mean. Down 2-0, the crowd obviously a little skittish, a little silent, but Barkey makes it 2-1, building comes to life. How much do you guys feel that in the moment? Obviously you're happy to get a goal, but do you feel kind of the feeling of the building change?
Yeah, that home ice momentum swing and having you know, everybody cheering you on is huge, and we really appreciate it, no doubt. That's extremely important. You know, you feel it when you're in their building, you feel it when you're in our building. It's true passion and emotion from the fans is all we can ask for.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you.